Good morning guys. What I'm going to try and do today is just run through the different types of shell holder and try and explain what the differences are. If I just grab one of these up here, this is just a Hornady one. As you can see, it's just a standard #1 shell holder for a press. You would use this sort of thing generally for holding your cases in your press when size and seating. The only thing else you need to be wary of with shell holders is the numbering systems. Hornady, Lee, RCBS and Redden all use different numbers depending on the bolt face. Say if you shoot a 308 or a 243 or a Creedmoor, in a Redden that would be a #1 shell holder, Hornady would be #1 and Lee would be #2. If you shoot a Magnum bolt face, in Lee that would be #5, and the other makes you need to check on a shell holder chart. Okay guys, so that's the basic shell holder. Going up in different types, we can then come on to these what we call sets. I don't know if the light is very good. So what that is basically a set. It's the same design shell holder as the standard ones, but they differ in thickness, and these are called a competition set. Redden make them and Derrico when we get them in. They go up in 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 thou different sizes, so going up 2 thou at a time. And generally you would use these when you are bumping your shoulders. You can set it against one shell holder, then alter it with a different shell holder to either close or extend the gap when sizing for the amount of bump you want to give your brass. Okay, so that's what we call a competition shell holder set. Coming down to Lee shell holders, they make the usual standard shell holder with a bobbly bit on the bottom so it clips in the press. They also make a flat shell holder called a auto prime shell holder, and these are exclusively made for their priming tool, whether you use the handheld or the new priming tool, for the bench mounted one. They will fit in there, where the press mounted type shell holder will not fit, so you need the flat one. And once again, the numbers run the same in the Lee. The product code is slightly different, but the numbers, so you can get a #2 shell holder for the priming tool, and then they call it an R2 for the press. Both would do a 308 in that instance. K&M on their neck turners also use the Lee shell holders. Okay, they use the little flat ones without the bobbly bit, and they would fit in these, where I can see one, in these neck turners here. Okay, they'd fit in them. This one's a 50 cal, but the idea is the same. Okay, there you go. In that neck turner, it fits in there. I don't know if you can see that. The little flat one will fit in there into the case holder. Okay, so that's the flathead one, and the last type is the extended shell holder. These are quite a specialist thing and not very popular nowadays, but we can still do them. Once again, they come in the different bolt face sizes, and what they are is a normal shell holder just with like an inch piece of metal in the middle, so to extend them. Generally you would use them if you want to extend your case up away from the press, if you're working on your case doing a caliber conversion, going from one caliber to another, or if you've got short cases, making it awkward to work on them on your press. But generally nowadays with the presses, decent dies, they're no longer needed. The only other thing I'm going to show you is a slight quirky thing with RCBS shell holders. Right, let me just grab one. Right, can you see the hole in the middle? Okay, generally when we're depriming, that's where the primer would pop out. RCBS and their trimmers do not like any other maker shell holder, because that hole on there is slightly bigger than any other manufacturers, and their trimmers just don't seem to like other shell holders. So if you've got an RCBS old style trimmer, you will need an RCBS specifically shell holder for that trimmer. Okay, where if you use like a Hornady one or Lyman, they're generally okay with other brands. That's the big thing about shell holders. All of the brands fit all of the presses. Okay, so you can have an RCBS shell holder in a Redden press or a Lyman press. The only one that is different is the Foster Coax press, because that uses sliding jaws. You can get what we call an adapter plate to make it into a standard shell holder type press, but generally they have sliding jaws on them. So if you've got any questions on shell holders, I think I've tried to cover most things quickly. Any questions, use the comments below, like and share, and hit the notification button. Cheers guys.